What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy Sinister. We're back with another video, man. Today we're gonna be reacting to Dooski the Man, bro, from MOB. He passed away in 2018, October of 2018. Um, yeah. For those of y'all that don't know, he was into it, or they're still into it to this day, I'm guessing. Yeah, they still beefing today. Them and O Block 600, like numerous sets they were into it with. MOB, like they had a lot of enemies. The Orchestrated hit on MOB, Dooski the Man. I'm about to react to that right now. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn that bell. Hope you're having a safe and blessed Thursday. Let's get right into it.
Coming straight down MOB shit, bitch. And we out here on the six, ain't worried about none of that.
It was times Dooski, like real life, like was blocking out family, the whole world, like just to be on the block.
Chicago police were trying to figure out who shot 6 people outside of this afternoon.
And police say they heard a barrage of shots just after noon. They were coming from across the street for a local musician known as Dooski the Man was letting out. His real name is Chris. He was killed by gunfire earlier this month.
It was just like a hailstorm of gunshots. It was at least 40 to 50 shots.
It's like they took right before he could, just live his dream.
Chris, known to the music world as Dooski the Man, was on his way to building a legacy in the music world before the lifestyle he lived caught up to him. In the streets of Chicago, plagued with rival gangs, taunting and plotting on the lives of their enemies, Dooski the Man made a name for himself as one of those persons who shouldn't be crossed. He was affiliated with the gang set known as MOB, which stands for Mind on Business. Dooski the Man was known as some of the most ruthless in the city and was affiliated with other gang sets like STL and EBT, which the late famous FBG Duck and Wooski was affiliated with, both of whom Dooski the Man called friends.
Coming straight down MOB shit, bitch. And we out here on the six, ain't worried about none of that.
Rated T.
The underworld shows no mercy.
This one shit, bitch.
Cheeto.
See all that.
Hold on, wait.
See down there. What the yeah, now show me again. Let them come at me.
They want to talk, we don't want to talk.
What you doing, boy? You online? Tell her ass they some hoes.
The problem with this lifestyle was that Dooski had a reputation based on his actions. There were no rules of engagement. Once blood ran, then the other side was out for revenge, and the vicious cycle continues in a loop. It was only a matter of time before that cycle made its way right back around to the feet of Dooski the Man. His gang affiliation with MOB, who were mainly gangster disciples,
MOB.
brought with it the anger of one of their main rivals, the 600 gang, comprised of mainly black disciples. The two were not so far away from each other, as with many of the gang turfs in the Chicago area. That means staying in the location and continuing along the same dangerous path increases the chance of losing your life. A lesson Dooski the Man never heeded. He would witness firsthand how fickle life in that line of living could be when he lost his friend Brian Weekly to the streets. Weekly was a fellow MOB gang affiliate who was known by his alias Mob Scrap, and multiple attempts were made on his life in previous times. But on June 7th, 2014, his rivals succeeded in ending his life. Reports state that at about 1:30 a.m. Saturday, officers responded to a call of shots fired in the 5600 block of South Wabash Avenue. 18-year-old Brian Weekly and a 20-year-old man, both of whom had suffered multiple gunshot wounds and were unresponsive in an alley. Weekly, of the 1400 block of West 79th Street, was pronounced deceased at the scene. The 20-year-old was taken to John A. Stroger Jr. Hospital of Cook County in critical condition. Dooski the Man lost his friend and gangmate to the same thing that took many others close to him. But instead of realizing that the end result down that path he walked wasn't a happy ending, he instead dived deeper into the darkness of the lifestyle. Oftentimes, he was high off substances, but it wasn't simply something he enjoyed doing, but more of a coping mechanism through all the loss and pain he endured. The loss of Scrappy really cut him deep. Dedicating a song to his friend titled Letter to Scrap, his pain could be heard layered over every word. He would begin carrying on Scrap's legacy by embracing the name Scrap Gang in his verbiage and songs. But Dooski took it a step further. He wanted revenge, and he often lurked on the streets late at night to find rivals to retaliate upon.
Corner, B. I can't wait to catch the 555. Now we on 59th for King Drive. Drop the mask. Right? Now we finna go to the O. On phone. We gonna let y'all know our every move. We gonna let y'all know our... I know we ain't finna see nobody. Like, this shit be funny as hell, bro. Like, why have we keep in their blocks, bro?
According to his best friend, Ruga, in a later interview, Dooski the Man was one of the Chicago rappers at the time who was making headway in the music industry, but he couldn't stay away from the dangerous lifestyle.
Dooski, like, was in the... We all was in the streets, don't get me wrong. But I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to do the music, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to kind of branch out from it, you know. Dooski was too, but it was like, he was in there, he was out there, you know what I'm saying? And popping pills and just, and you know, living that, he was lit, you know what I'm saying? He was lit before me. He had the music lit.
Slowly, they started drifting apart, but not due to being at odds. Ruga recalled wanting to focus on music, but Dooski, the Man, couldn't let the gang lifestyle go. Eventually, they'd have a conversation where Dooski told him honestly what had been eating away at him all this time. Dooski the Man was going through a lot. The losses and the trauma of his environment were taking a toll to the point where he blocked out everything and everyone and drowned it all out in substances and dangerous lifestyle.
This experience of seeing him go through his whole life phase, there was a time he came to me and talked to me. He was like, brother, I ain't gonna lie, I've been going through it, like real life. He told me, like, it was time Dooski, like real life, like, was blocking out family, the whole world, like just to be on the block.
That conversation with his close friend was exactly what he needed. In that moment, Dooski made the decision to focus on his growing music popularity and stepped away from the violent lifestyle. For a minute, it seemed like he was going to hold the opportunity so many wanted and rise to the top of the music industry. Sadly, less than 24 hours later, his life was taken.
It was just that whole experience of going through that. We sat down and we talked right before he died. Like, literally came to my house and he spoke to me. He told me, I love you, bro. Love the way you do. You always push me to be better. I want to be his music, bro. I'm finna cut off everything, and this is what we finna do. And that shit happened.
According to Chicago police, on October 9th, 2018, at around 3:30 p.m., Dooski the Man was in the 5600 block of South Michigan Avenue with a female companion. Just before 4 p.m., a vehicle came their direction with shooters from inside the vehicle, brandishing weapons and pulling the trigger. The female was wounded in the leg, while Dooski suffered a gunshot to the head. His condition was critical, and the clock was ticking on how much time he had left. But Dooski and the female companion were rushed to the University of Chicago Medical Center for
It's hard to be an HR leader. Pet insurance. People love pets.
We could relax the dress code.
treatment. Unfortunately, Dooski the Man was pronounced deceased at 4:33 p.m., while the woman escaped with her life. The woman suggested to the investigators that the shots may have come from a passing brown vehicle. However, the suspects were never found. Reports quickly began spreading online that the drive-by shooting that claimed the life of Dooski the Man, sparking mixed reactions from those who got the news. However, there was one group of people whose emotions and intentions were clear after his hit,
Spot
and it was
news.
nothing other than a sinister feeling from their post. Dooski's affiliates wanted blood, pain, and revenge. As one affiliate said, the tears were finished shedding and the streets of Chicago were about to become a war zone. That was the extent of love and respect they held for their now slain friend. Although there was never an official arrest of a suspect, many fingers pointed to Dooski's rival, the 600 Gang, as the culprits. This became an even greater speculation, with posts by members like Memo 600 laughing at Dooski's hit. But what dialed in the spotlight on 600 being responsible even more was when a member by that name of Waldo was hit just about 24 hours later, which many saw as retaliation. According to Chicago police, on October 10th, 2018, Waldo was standing on a sidewalk in the 200 block of East 63rd Street in the Parkway Gardens neighborhood around 4:30 p.m. when an unknown vehicle pulled up next to him and an offender inside the vehicle fired shots. A bullet struck him in the head, ending his life in the same manner as Dooski the Man.
Oh shit.
Hits were on the rise, and just as every time before, so was the same now. The cycle of bloodshed increased as emotions ran high for their slain affiliates. Wooski, who was close with Dooski, would come near to meeting his friend in the grave as his farewell service. He was at odds with the late Chicago gangster, King Von, oftentimes involved in arguments back and forth.
Yeah, Twitter.
The day before the farewell service of Dooski, Wooski was on a FaceTime call with said rival King Von and his other affiliates. It was on that call King Von could be heard saying that he had a surprise for Wooski.
It's your big brother, yeah, you know what the fuck going on. That's your big brother, you know. I wish I could say one of y'all was my boys. You got all goofies over there. What y'all off the courage? What made y'all do what you don't Listen, we gon' surprise. You talking about tonight. We gon' surprise, bro. But you talking about tonight.
King Von's affiliate, known by the alias E-Dog, also left a cryptic message via Twitter on the day of the farewell service that Wooski was scheduled to attend. It soon became clear that something was planned for that day when bullets began to fly at the service, hitting Wooski in the head.
Shit, I was in the church, you see what I'm saying?
Oh, he was inside the church, bro. He could have got hit.
I really don't even know what was like, you know, but I had my son, you see what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure my son and, you see what I'm saying, my immediate family all good in there, you see what I'm saying? Because I was done everything I loved in there, you see what I'm saying? But yeah, that shit was crazy.
And police say they heard a barrage of shots just after noon. They were coming from across the street.
Yo, I'm gonna say one thing, bro. Shooting up a funeral is playing with the fucking devil, bro. Like, that shit is just outside of a church too, bro. Like to in front of God's house. That's crazy, bro.
At a for a local musician known as Dooski the Man was letting out. His real name is Van Treese Chris. He was killed by gunfire earlier this month. Witnesses today heard a couple of shots at first, apparently fired into the crowd. Then many more, several dozen more shots.
By some miracle, Wooski would survive, but not without serious mental trauma.
Damn.
He went back to regain himself and was seen smiling and spending time with friends who came to visit him in the hospital.
What you mean? Ah, fuck, I'm cheap. Ah, what you mean? What makes you think I'm cheap?
He was lucky, unlike his friend.
Yeah, he was lucky.
Because some of them, like Dooski, experienced so much growing up that their minds are warped by the trauma. Their lives become controlled by their environment and turning to substances to help cope with it all. Dooski had musical talent and was ready to change his life around for the better. Unfortunately, he lost his life. If only he had the chance to escape, he would have been one of the greats in the industry today. Rest in peace, Dooski the Man.
Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Long live Dooski. Long live everybody that died in this, bro. Scrap everybody. From me. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn that bell. Hope y'all stay safe, man.